Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Arnhem Checkpoint. Our heroes today are going to be HatsuneMiku, playing as the OKW forces in the blue, and his opponent is going to be Procura, playing as the US forces in the red. So right off the bat, we see Mr. Procura going for his Doctrine selection, and that is the Mechanized company. Second time we've seen it be used, and of course being popped up very early, because as we notice, it gives you access to the US Forces Clown card, the military truck, WC-51. And yeah, you can pop that right off the start. Of course, you do have to get the resources for it, which is 20 fuel, which you get right now at the 1 minute mark, essentially. And 240 manpower, which Procura doesn't have, as he did build himself 2 rifle squads. But, well, I mean, he needs to have rifle squads, and 2 of them sound nice. We'll see if he goes for that truck. In the meantime, though, we do see HatsuneMiku going for the Kubelwagen. Kubelwagen, pretty standard looking nowadays. Nice little car that you can cap with, and then following it up with Volks and more Volks. So the truck is now on the field. And, well, we will see what happens. Currently in the center of the map, we do have an engagement as the Storm Pyos pop themselves inside that church. Rifle squad taking some cover behind the truck, giving itself some green cover. So, you know, the engagement will be rather prolonged in this instance. But we do see this rifle squad over here going to be popping inside that truck, which still allows it to cap while inside of it, because it's basically the same mechanic as the Soviet scout car, for example, and multiple other types of vehicles. But yeah, they're able to still cap and move around, whereas by itself, if it doesn't have anybody inside, it is unable to actually provide any capacity. So anyway, Storm Pyos popping out of the church, trying to get it closer range to assault the rifles. Doing so, but unable to do so successfully because, well, they just get themselves shot up. The Kubelwagen coming up on the flank, trying to get some additional shots there on the rifles. Manages to do so as well, but the rifles are in heavy cover, so they're able to withstand there. The Dutch truck coming right on top of that Kubelwagen, going to be potentially taking it out, although it seems to be stuck in its path. The 50 cal machine gun on top is getting some shots in on that Kubelwagen, potentially taking it out. However, it seems as though the Kubelwagen will be making its escape, and a bit of a missed opportunity there for Procura. The pathing on the truck seemed a little bit abysmal there, and it, well, it sucked. Volks Grenadiers do flood into the center, one of them popping into the house in the north, the other one popping into the church, losing one of its members in the current engagement, as the rifles still stay there, still in the engagement. The other squad was forced to retreat, currently heading somewhere. Oh, wait, never mind. It's the one inside the, yeah, nobody retreated. It was the Storm Pyos that retreated. Never mind. Rear echelon squad over on the right-hand side, capping some territory for Procura, as HatsuneMiku also moves his, or hers, Volks Grenadiers a little bit to the back. And the Volks Grenadiers in the church are now down to 2 men, which is a risky thing, or position to be in, considering... Oh, there it goes. So the vehicle crew and the rifles pop out of the truck as the Rakuten Warfare makes itself known, wanting to potentially save the vehicle crew if the shot would have flown at the truck, managing to force the retreat of the Rakuten Warfare and the rifles popping themselves back inside the truck. The truck cannot turn on a dime. It is not that limber, and it is, you know... Volks Grenadier Squad does make it out of there, as we see a third Volks Grenadier Squad coming into play for Mr. HatsuneMiku, or Mrs., I don't know, whatever. I'll just say HatsuneMiku and stop using gender here. Procura did get 3 rifles in total, one of them currently back at base, having been brought down to 3 men as they just stood there and fought on in the center of the map. The truck behind it being utilized to cap. Risky situation, though, as there is, of course, that Rakuten Warfare on the field, and it can cloak. So that means it can easily sneak up. Yeah, it can sneak up on the truck, and it'll kill it. Wow, what is up with my speaking good bad? It can kill it in one shot, if I'm not mistaken. So the Kubelwagen over on the left-hand side, capping some territory and fighting against the rifles. Storm Pyos is going to be closing the distance and getting right on top of those rifles, doing a lot of damage. The truck has been moved from the center, going to be utilized on the edges of the map. basically to harass and cap, so Procura wanting to keep it alive a little bit longer. But it might be, you know, time for that truck to just be withdrawn, although it does need a little bit more on the command points. You need 2 to be able to withdraw it, so kind of need to guarantee that it stays alive until that point, and then you can get rid of it and get something back rather than just have it get killed. So Volksgrenadiers up in the north, engaging the truck. The rear echelon squad was forced to retreat down to 2 men. Center of the map, Volksgrenadiers pushing forward, going straight into the center victory point. Nobody currently occupying the center, so no engagement, no opposition. Bit of an unfortunate situation there, but, well, Procura is currently back at base, healing up his troops. We do see a captain squad now on the field for Procura, moving over to the left-hand side. And with the captain on the field, I can only assume that once the fuel is enough, we'll probably see a, what's it called? The steward. I can only assume. So the weapons lockers getting unlocked. We see the rifles getting upgraded with bars across the board here. 1 or 2? Seems like 2. At least on that one. What about this one over here? They're bandaging themselves, so I can't tell. Well, anyways, the bar-equipped rifles pushing up to the north. Their bars will be able to dish out a decent amount of damage here against the Volks and take them out relatively quickly. Up in the north, we do have a rifle squad and a captain going around decapping territory. However, with the loss of this strategic point, the points on the left-hand side are not providing any resources. They will soon as the rifles continue to fight on and will be able to capture the point with it without being pushed off. We see the second rifle squad pushing forward. This squad does only have 1 bar, it looks to me. Yeah, it only has 1 so far. And the Kubel wagon quickly gets the hell out of the way as it just gets shit on by all those bullets. Volksgrenadiers on the left-hand side do push on top of the captain and the rifles, throwing an incendiary grenade on top of them and doing some health damage. The Raketen Warfare slowly moving back as it tries to move out of the way. Volksgrenadiers on the right-hand side, unable to stop this blob as we do have 3 bars and a rear echelon squad providing a lot of damage output there. And, well, 1 Volks isn't going to survive against that. And, I mean, I lost track of the truck. But I am going to assume that it got withdrawn. I'll just write it down and double check to see what happened. Withdrawn. At around 7 minutes. There you go. So rifles over on the left-hand side, unable to withstand by themselves, quickly being pushed away. We do have the captain behind them. Low in health, though, and it looks like the captain is still alive, so it does have that Tommy gun, you know. So they do have a decent amount of anti-infantry firepower on that squad, even with the bazookas, but they wouldn't survive long. So the steward finally coming into play, and that should give Procura a decent amount of damage output. We do have the looks on the field for Mr. Miku and Mrs. Miku, as the Mechanized Regiment headquarters goes down right at the base, so the automated repairs will have to be retreated all the way back to the base, essentially, for them to work, but, you know. May as well make sure you're safe, right? So left-hand side, big pushes here by Miku as Volksgrenadiers and Raketen Warfare push forward to try and cap. We see infantry for Procura shifting in that direction to try to provide some cover there. Or stop the approach, I suppose. Rifle squad barely making it out of there as it is forced to retreat by the Lux. Shots flying from the steward. Getting some vision blockage going there on the Lux. The Lux doesn't really take any damage on that, but it is unable to shoot as the rifle squad hits retreat and gets the hell out of the way. So, I mean, he's going to need an AT gun if he wants to be able to keep that Lux at bay. Lux at bay, I suppose. Rifles popping into the church. They're going to withstand there for a little while, but with a Lux shooting at them and even Shreks on Volksgrenadiers, they're not going to live forever. Captain, though, with its bazookas is moving up very close to the Lux. Shot's gonna fly, gonna get some good shots there on the rear of the Lux, bringing it down to about 75% strength, forcing it to displace itself and move its way out of the area of engagement. Incendiary grenade popping on the rifles. The rifles do take some flame damage from them. They're very close. They're gonna burn. Oh, that's gonna be a lost squad for Procura. An unfortunate situation there for him. Yeah. got a little bit confident there. And up in the north, we do see a rifle squad seemingly wanting to go for the looks, but I mean, they're not going to do anything but get themselves killed if they stay there. Captain is forced to retreat, as of course the bazookas do count against it as far as anti-infantry firepower, and the more units you lose, the less you have. Steward moving up, going to be chasing down these Volksgrenadiers. 2 Volksgrenadier squads with 2 members each. The Raketen Warfare not in position, unable to do anything to stop them. Going to be chasing them down. Could it actually take down one of the squads? Well, the shots are missing horribly. Down to 1 man on 1 Volksgren squad. Could potentially take it out. It stops, seeing the infantry pushes against it, and the Raketen Warfare is coming up behind it. Bad spot there for the Steward. Steward's going to retreat right into the range of that Raketen Warfare. Shots flying from the looks, but it's not going to be able to move out of the way, and down goes the looks. Big mistake there by Procura. He needed to just keep going forward and then swing around. I guess he didn't exactly know where the Raketen Warfare was because of its stealth. So, you know, it's not entirely his fault. But yeah, backing it off right there, that was the death sentence for the Steward. And we see Procura instantly going ahead and building himself another one to try to replace his losses. But yeah, he's now coming, you know, it's an uphill battle now. He's lost quite a bit. 49 to 34 as far as army value goes, so yeah, not good. Kubelwagen still being a thorn on Procura's ass, just moving around, capping all over the map. It is what a Kubelwagen is supposed to do, I suppose. So yeah. Previously it was, you know, like a sort of MG, but now it's not, so may as well just use it like that. Moves a lot faster than your infantry, so making sure that that one is the one moving around capping. For now, though, we do see rear echelon squads getting upgraded with bazookas, double bazookas actually. They might be able to get themselves into position to shoot at the Kubelwagen. Kubelwagen is trying to move out of the way, shots flying. Now, the rear echelon squad doesn't even do anything. The captain says, I got this, men. Open fire, and down goes the Kubelwagen. So, at least Fort Procura manages to get rid of that little annoyance, and brings himself a little bit better into the fight. Rifle squad on the left-hand side, forced to retreat down to 1 man. Unfortunately, though, it does drop one of its bars. The Volksgrenadier squads there could just go pick it up. Any of the squads could do, and get themselves a nice little weapon. Steward back into the center of the map, forcing the retreat of one of the Volksgren squads. However, Raketen Warfare is moving up. Rifle squad retreating as well. Volksgrenadier spotting the weapon and picking it up. Feeling kind of nice that they now have American weaponry and are able to shoot American bullets at the Americans. Panzer Grenadier, no, not Panzer Grenadier, Storm Pioneers. Getting shot in the center, down to 1 man, forced to retreat, barely making it out of there as the Raketen Warfare shoots back at the Steward, forcing it to back off. Captain, bars, and the rear echelons just laying into this house with everything they got, trying as best they can to clear it out. The captain, though, is currently getting shot at by the Lux. The Lux is going to be shot back in return by those bazookas. There is a rear echelon squad nearby that could help out, but we do see a retreating rifle squad having dropped a, what was it? A bar, so neither of these squads can pick it up. However, there is that rifle squad right there that could just go pick it up. Volksgrenadier is going to be moving right in front of the Steward. The Steward now moving up to harass the Lux. I mean, it is pretty powerful in its main gun, so it can actually take out the Lux quite easily. However, the Raketen Warfare is the main threat here for the Steward. Can he actually pick it up? I think he might. There it goes. Oh, but the vehicle is left there on the battlefield. The Steward managing to position itself in a better angle, moving itself away from the Raketen Warfare, but it does not look like it's going to take it out. Well, sacrifices itself with one last shot, manages to get a hit going. He's going to make it out of there. Oh my god, Procura manages to barely keep alive the Steward. A bit of a mistake there by Miku, as she does not not able to position the Volks or the Raketen Warfare in a proper angle, and the Steward crawls its way out of there. Thankfully, it did not have a damaged engine, so it just limps back and makes its way home. Although I suppose crawl or limp is not the accurate statement because it didn't have any hindered movement, but basically just GTFOs and stays alive. That was a very nice turn of events there for Procura. Procura basically putting himself back into the game, as he now has 50 to 45 as far as army value goes, prop cap. So, you know, it's not a direct correlation there as who's in the better position, but it's kind of, you know, an easy estimate there to see who's kind of doing better, right? Victory points were 340 to 445, currently in the lead for Procura by 100, essentially. So, you know, giving himself a nice little lead. We do see HatsuneMiku going for the Scavenge Doctrine, as he calls in Jaeger Light Infantry to support in the center of the map. Nice little thing there that they can pop from the buildings, so easy to reinforce the front. But also calling in an Ostwind. The Ostwind is very, very good, especially against the Americans, as they do not have much that they can fight against. Even its AT gun is pretty shitty, and you know, the Ostwind can easily just charge it and get itself behind them. The bazookas, though, are the bigger threat, and they are pretty good against it. But, you know, it is a decently sized tank, and it's able to take a decent amount of punishment. Ooh, that rifle squad is going to go down, and down goes the rifle squad. Another big mistake there by Procura, as he goes a little bit too aggressive there. Captain also in danger of getting taken out. Both Grenadiers with Shreks equipped, also a big threat there, as the armor for the Americans is not very strong. So, yeah, I mean, the Ostwind, pretty good option. Pretty good option, especially knowing the Doctrine, right? You know that nothing really heavy can come from that, and the heaviest thing that you can expect is, well, basically a Sherman, and the most dangerous thing against it would be a Jackson, right? So you can get the M3 half-track, which is also pretty cool. Kind of sad that it didn't come out. So Volksgrenadiers pushing on the left-hand side, capturing some more territory, giving HatsuneMiku basically control of almost the entire map. Even Storm Pyos on the far right-hand side going for the victory points, going to be putting a triple cap against Procura, which again has a 100-point lead, which will be turned around very quickly. But still, you know, it's a good thing that he's doing that, because, well, that stabilizes and switches the victory point into a more even engagement, right? So yeah, the triple cap is going on right now, but it will stop very quickly, as this squad in the center, the captain, going to be taking care of that. Stewart on the far right-hand side catches the Storm Pyos as they're capping around. Not going to be killing them unless he manages to nail an exceptional shot that kills 3 in 1, and that is highly unlikely, even though it does happen. And it didn't, so, you know, the highly unlikeliness of it ended up being accurate. As we see the rear echelon squad up in the north trying to capture some territory, getting harassed there by the Ostwind. Oof. Almost clears out the entire squad. Very low in health with only 2 men left, but it makes it out of there, so I suppose it's fine. Captain gonna be popping itself inside this house. Bazooka shots flying at the Jaeger Light Infantry. We also see an infantry support gun now on the field for HatsuneMiku. Not Miku. But yeah, we'll see. So the Steward coming up to defend the AT gun as Jaeger Light Infantry popped up behind it, trying to clear it out. Rifles and the Captain also moving themselves into position to defend that AT gun, but that AT gun now needs some men. Down to 2 men, 1 kill, and that's it. Shot flies from the Racket to Warfare, but actually ends up missing as the Steward just sits there, becoming a difficult target to hit because it wasn't moving. Infiltration grenades getting tossed by the Jaeger Light Infantry as they try to catch the approaching infantry. However, they kind of miss completely and nothing really happens. Left-hand side, rifle squad down to 2 men, forced to retreat, barely makes it out of there, as we do have Volksgrenadiers pushing with a lot of veterancy. We see that veteran 5 squad. Storm Pyos on the right-hand side, unable to do anything against these rifles and the Captain, down to 1 man on the retreat, but they'll make it out of there. And we see the Volksgrenadiers on top of it, also getting taken out a little bit. Infantry support gun, though, is getting some shots in there, doing a lot of damage. And the rifle squad over here on the left-hand side manages to push away that 2-man Volksgrenadier squad. Captain and rifle squad trying to stop the Volks from retreating. But, well, they bring it down to 1 man, but the Steward is not going to be able to do too much against the Ostwind. Does manage to break its sight, so the Captain will be throwing some bazooka shots at it. However, it's still able to move, so doesn't necessarily mean a kill. However, the Racket Warfare is nowhere near. Oh, now it's near. Gets a good shot. Well, looks like the Steward is going to be killed here. But it did manage to take out the Ostwind, so, you know, that's a job well done on that Steward. So, seems like it was worth it. Now, we do see the Captain retreating, and we have a rifle squad retreating, so Not entirely sure if a rifle squad went down right here. We do see a lot of men dead, so it's possible they may have died. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to 2, replacing 1. So yeah, I think 1 died, but it's fighting all over the place, so meh. Kind of late right now, and I can't afford to get a picture-in-picture. I mean, I can, but we'll see. Okay, so let's see. Rifle at around 20 minutes. We'll just see if a squad died, and if it did, I guess I'll try and figure it out. So anyways, Jaeger light infantry moving around in the center for HatsuneMiku. 318 to 394, still in the lead for Procura. Nobody currently bleeding points, as we do have the center point currently uncapped. Rifles on the left-hand side, going for some strategic points. Gonna get assaulted by the storm piles at point blank. We see yet another Flak Panzer coming into play for HatsuneMiku, as, well, it's able to replace it right away. We see his rifles, rear echelons, and the captain moving all the way over to the left-hand side, trying to do the best they can to capture territory.
Our supply line is cut. Germans are making a push.
Very nice grenade there for Procura. Lands it right behind the house, forcing HatsuneMiku to, well, exit the house, you know, expecting the grenade to go inside, but landing right at their feet. Manages to only kill 2, though, so could have easily been a squad wipe, but unfortunately didn't go through. Captain manages to barely make it out of there as the AT gun. It's also forced to back off because, well, it's an AT gun and there's no ATs. Oh, well, there's no T's, really, not ATs. But anyways, so rifles still trying to capture a round. Far right-hand side, Volksgrenadiers being utilized to cap. And Procura seems to be in a tough spot here. 45 to 58 as far as pop cap goes. HatsuneMiku looking pretty strong there with that Ostwind. It doesn't look like Procura's... Oh, he is. Okay, so Procura is adding Sherman into the mix. Not a bad option. Problem is, of course, is the Rakuten Warfare and the Shreks all over the place. We do have 3 Shreks in total. Even though these guys have a bar, they do have a Shrek as well. You can see it right there. A bit of a passive moment here for Procura as he pushes all out with all his troops. The Major brought into play here as he moves around with the infantry. He can gain veterancy by proximity. He doesn't have to be the ones to do the damage or kills. The only thing is that...
Capture point is being overrun.
Anyways, well, not the only thing, but...
Tank support is here. Sherman ready.
Wow, stupid, sorry. He can be utilized if he levels up to level 3. He can lock down some friendly territory and prevent the cutting off of certain resources and capping of certain locations. Also, when harassing on the right-hand side, we do have the Sherman now in play, getting right on top of those Volksters. The Volksters are gonna get crushed. There goes the crush, getting 1, 2. And forcing the retreat. Volksgrenadier squad popping into the house. Gonna be, well, it does get a good shot going there on the Sherman. Sherman gonna be needing some repairs. So the crew will probably pop out. Could pop out over here by the fuel, but it looks like the infantry is gonna be moved back there. And the Rakuten Warfare slowly moving under cloak into position. Captain moving up, trying to get some shots going on the Ostwind. We see the AT gun pushing forward. Captain really unable to do too much against the Ostwind, as the Ostwind can just simply kite it forever and shoot back at further range. So it will kill the Captain, you know, at some point. But well. And yeah, I mean, you can essentially just place, you know, the Captain somewhere around here, or hell, even somewhere around the road over here, with the ambulance to reinforce. And you can't disconnect this point, even though it's right outside there. So.
Lost a unit. 300 points remaining.
So the Captain got taken out. I don't exactly know how, so let me go ahead and note it. Rakuten Warfare and Shreks doing a number here on the Sherman. Sherman gets taken out very easily, very needlessly. And Procura kind of throwing the game there. Oh, there you go. Sinker detected as the Sherman goes down, and the game comes to a close. So yeah. well, that was unfortunate there. It was looking to be a very good game all in, all out, but a couple mistakes there from Procura. He made some mistakes early on and managed to come back from that with the initial death of the steward, but with that Sherman dying, yeah, I can agree with him that that was pretty much his last hope. But anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.